She has broken records. She was the first female U.S. Senator elected in West Virginia's history. She also won with the largest margin of a victory for a Republican in state history. She won with more than 62% of the vote in all 55 counties. After serving West Virginia's 2nd congressional district in the U.S. House of Representatives for 14 years, and as a member of the West Virginia House of Delegates for 4 years prior, Senator Shelley Moore Capito decided to run for Senate with a goal of bringing an even stronger voice for the Mountain State. She saw an opportunity to restore order in the Senate stuck in a gridlock for far too long. She believes that the challenges of our day demand bipartisan solutions and cooperation across the aisle to advance legislation and benefits for West Virginia and the country as a whole. She serves on the Appropriation Committee, the Environment and Public Works Committee, the Rules and Administration Committee, and the Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee. She is a lifelong West Virginian. She was born in Glendale in the Northern Panhandle and holds a BS in Science Zoology from Duke University and a Master's in Education from the University of Virginia. She and her husband, Charles L. Capito Jr., reside in Charleston, and they have 3 adult children, 2 sons and a daughter. They have also been blessed with 4 grandchildren. She has personally touched my life too, as she has helped me once before with a personal problem involving the military. She is a wonderful person. She is great fun to know, and if you ever get stuck on a plane with her and have to sit beside of her, she's wonderful company. It's my honor now to introduce Senator Shelley Moore Capito.
Well, good morning, Angela. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing here for Boise State, and good morning to all of you citizens of Boise State. This is always, oh, I like that. That's good. It's your first morning, right? No, your second morning? Second morning, so we're a little cheerier on the second morning. I did remark earlier that having a long history of coming to Boise State, and my father, who was a former governor, coming to Boise State, apparently he used to fly his helicopter in when he was governor into the field, make a big splash, one of his favorite times to do it. But back in the day, the dining hall was not air conditioned, and it's supposed to be 92 degrees this week. So you guys are living in luxury, Angela mentioned that I live in Charleston. I have 2 sons, both of which attended West Virginia Boise State, and they really liked it. The takeaway I have is get involved, enjoy, take the opportunity to meet your fellow future leaders of the state and nation, but also get involved in the electoral process, because the one who came here in, I was trying to think when that would have been, maybe 2000, is now and has just been recently elected to the West Virginia House of Delegates, so he's on his way. So he, I think, credits a lot of what he learned here at Boise State with what he's been able to do by winning that election last year in 2016. I was happy to meet Governor Deal. We just had our picture taken, the governor and the senator, and he's been a great leader, and I'm sure he'll be a great future leader for our country as well. You know, I was thinking about what I might want to say today that might make an impact on you, and I thought about voting and voting preferences and making sure that you have your voice. How many of you are 18 or how many of you voted in the last, you wouldn't have voted in the last election. This next, no, you guys better have voted, yes. For the citizens that are going, you all are going to be able to vote. Your first time to vote is going to be this upcoming election in 2018, I guess. And, I would encourage all of you to do that. You're going to learn a lot today and over the next several days about running campaigns and issues and how to get involved and some of the frustrations that come with getting involved. But being involved, the first way you can be involved is to make sure you vote. Now, I was born in Glendale. Where's my Marshall County people? Where are they? Yeah, there we go. There we go. John Marshall. Home of who else? Brad Paisley, Arch Moore, my dad, and who else? Lady Gaga's grandparents. Come on. What's wrong with you people? And I've had the honor to probably be in almost every single one of your high schools. And you've just come off of a great junior year. You're going to have your senior year, which is kind of daunting in a way to try to decide what you want to do. But in other ways, it's very exciting because it is your last year. It's the last year to really make those friendships, to grab hold of your school and be with your family before you decide what your next step is going to be. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to vote in 2018, right? Everybody's going to be registered. Everybody's going to vote. There's a lot of frustration with what's going on in Washington. There's a lot of frustration with what's going on in our government, and a lot of people your age who think, I don't care. Those people can't get along. They can't make a decision. All they do is fight. Some of them tweet. Some of them do other things, and it doesn't seem like it matters to what I think or how I feel or what's important to me for my future. How am I going to pay my student loan? How am I going to make sure I go to get education? How am I going to make sure I can get a job? How am I going to make sure my health care is okay? These are all valid questions that right now you're probably not focused in on them, but you will be. You will be someday. Oh yeah, you will be. And that's why I think your generation, we're trying to leave you, hopefully not a big mess, but your generation is going to be the one that's going to grab and have the difficult challenges that we didn't have. Things like social media. We were just, I learned one of your counselors here is studying cybersecurity. When I was in school, I didn't even know what cybersecurity was. We didn't even have cyber. I went to a computer science class and we had these IBM cards. You had to stack them up this far. You had to spend all night in the IBM computer lab to run through a ridiculous algorithm, which was 1 + 2 + 3. I mean, it was so complicated. Now, it's amazing what you have right at your fingertips, what you have right at your iPhones and other social media. So that's going to be a big part of your life. It's going to be a big part of running campaigns. Let's look at what President Obama, when he ran in 2008, he had the most sophisticated outreach on your devices in the cellular space, but also on the internet. Well, that's been totally eclipsed after 8 years. Now it's Twitter and it's Instagram, it's Snapchat, it's Facebook. These are the things that are part of your everyday life that just 8 years ago or even 16 years ago nobody had even heard of. So running campaigns and figuring out how to reach the hearts and minds of young people like you is going to be all different, and you're going to learn all about that today. So why is it important? You know why it's important? It's because we got a great country. No matter all the pitfalls and the partisanship that you hear about and people bickering in the United States Senate, where I am blessed to be, yeah, we don't get along sometimes. We do get along sometimes. But the one thing we do get along on is our love of our country, respect for our veterans, respect for those in the American Legion and others who have served our country and are serving our country. And I had the distinct honor and really cool pleasure to go to Normandy, where our military in World War II landed on the beaches of Normandy. If you haven't seen this movie, it's called The Longest Day. It's sort of an old movie, but it describes the whole day. And when you go to Normandy and you look at the over 10,000 graves of our 18 and 19-year-old young men, it's staggering. They got on a ship, left this country, went to England, got on another ship, got sick because they had to stay on the ship for 2 days because they got postponed for bad weather. A lot of them were hungry, and they come over in droves, and a lot of them lost their lives, and they're all in a graveyard in France. And when you first get there, they show you a movie about the young men that served. And the one person they feature is from Huntington. Where's our Cabell County crowd? Yep. All right, Cabell County, let's hear it up. This guy was a doctor who left his family, his wife and 2 children, asked to be deployed. He deployed to England. He was a surgeon. He said, I'm not doing enough. He asked to be deployed onto the front line. He was on the front line in the hospital. He was 35 years old. He was in the hospital doing surgery. There was a GI out in the field that needed help, an American GI. He goes to the field to get him. He's killed by a sniper, and that GI lived. And I mean, it just gives you chills when you realize the sacrifices that people have made for our country. So we can sit here in Boise State, and we can discuss democracy. We can discuss our frustrations. We can discuss how to be good leaders. We can discuss different ways we might worship or other books that we might read. Those freedoms that we have every day are really in the walkways of the people who've been before us. So these were young men that were just a year older than you, and they saved not just a continent, but I really think they saved our country and the rest of the world for what could have been a very disastrous result. So I always think about that. I think one of the best field trips for Boise State would be to go to Normandy, to just visualize and see what that sacrifice was at Normandy that day. So I would encourage you to be learning. What are some of the things I've learned in the United States Senate? You know, there's a lot of people that like to talk in the United States Senate. The best skill in the United States Senate is the ability to listen. Senator Howard Baker said, a lot of times to be a good and effective leader, you need to listen more than you speak. Now, yeah, you're laughing because it's not happening too much, is it? But I think listening is a great skill, and you're going to do a lot of listening while you're here. Not just to your leaders, but to your friends and to your peers. Listen to their ideas. Listen to the way they approach things. Listen to the way that they think we can work together and do things better. So I hope you enjoy it. Remember, again, that you are part of a group. You think now, this really isn't that big a deal. It's a lot of people go to Boise State. Yeah, you know what? You're 400 strong. That's pretty cool. You're 400 of a group of just graduated juniors in a small state. You are going to be meeting, you all are going to be meeting each other through life. And if it's not, you graduate this year, maybe it's the one who came the year before. You really can't downplay that. So get to know as many people as you can, because these are people that are going to float in and out of your life, even if it's not in West Virginia. And I see Phil, I think we first met when when were you a citizen?
I was citizen in 97.
In 1997, he was a citizen, and I see him to this day, and this is where we first met, was at Boise State. So it is important what you're doing, and it's an honor for me to be your breakfast speaker. And I was amazed that they're serving you pizza for breakfast. How do you like that? Yeah? The governor says there's no bad time to eat pizza, and so I think he's right. So good luck, Godspeed. This is the 80th year that this has been in existence here, and I think you're going to have a beautiful week of great West Virginia weather and great West Virginia fun. And God bless you guys. Have a good time. Okay, I'm feeling a little guilty. I gave my shout out to Marshall County, land of my birth. I did mention my 2 boys who came to Boise State from George Washington High School, and Addison. Where's Addison? Hi, Addison. Addison's grandmother is the bomb. She works in my office, and Liz DeVise, and I've known Addison since he was little. Now he's getting bigger. But anyway, I want to give a shout out to GW since that's the land of my 3 kids.
Well, thank you so much, Senator Capito. As always, you know, we have a certificate.
Yay! Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, this here is a Mountaineer Boy State pin. You only get a Mountaineer Boy State pin by earning it. And you only earn it by being here. So, do you think she has earned it?
Thank you.